Testudos, and today I'm going to talk about the history of law and order. The history of law and order spans thousands of years, from ancient written codes to modern state governance. Ancient origin of legal laws. Interference from hackers as usual. Ancient origin of legal codes. It starts with the Code of Hammurabi in 1760 BC, established in Babylon, one of the earliest formal written legal codes to regulate behavior and punishment. Then it was followed by the ancient Roman law, 450 BC. In case you see me moving around, know that it's being pushed back, so don't worry. We shall push it the way it will come. Ancient Roman laws, 450 BC, created the law of the 12 tables, forming the foundation of Roman law and public civil rights. Eastern concepts of Dharma. Early Asian tradition, such as the Mahabharata, from the 8th and 9th century BC, integrating social duty, Dharma, and royal obligation to protect citizens. Raj Dharma. I am having problems still, hacking problems, so as you see me struggling, it's being returned back. I'll move on off head. So those were some of the rules that were there. Ancient Roman laws. And then families from the primitive time. There were families, and families had laws that guided them. These laws meant that their behavior, their character, in their hunting, in doing their day-to-day chores, those behaviors were regulated by a certain code. And as they advanced on, they started having specific laws that were to be used. Most of them were laws to do with revenge. If somebody touched your family, you are to do the same thing, and it will be, the overseer would be the people, the elders in the family. It even came to when a group of people, a society, did something, then people from that community would revenge on the other community. That's why in the Bible we have the safe cities where people would run to if you kill somebody not intentionally, because the relatives of that person were supposed to exact that same judgment on you. And with the coming of the written laws, things changed. Stone tablets were put there so that you could be able to see them and know that if you did something, you didn't have a defense. You didn't have a defense. It proceeded on until now, when we have what we call the Bible law. Going to King Charles of England now, where he started courts and he would send judges to judge throughout the country. I think that's the birth of the modern law. The courts we have and all those things we have. And then with the leadership that advanced, human beings needed something to regulate, to put justice, and to put equal treatment amongst the society. So they started courts, and laws would be made in parliament. And the first laws were laws that regarded people according to social class. The way a worker was treated varied from the way a noble was treated. There were some crimes that a noble would commit and get away with. But those same crimes, the people of law status, who, if they committed, they were punished by law. Then, as things advanced, people started having taboos that regulated also as the laws were going on. And then when kings came now, most of them started claiming their laws had come from God, and so they ruled with those laws. They were not questionable. But people realized that having those laws sometimes infringed on the rights of people. So the parliaments, like I said, started making laws, which we have in the modern era. As that continued, some people realized that they needed people to argue laws within them. The elders did that. We still have elders dealing with our traditional courts. But they were specialists who learned law and now practiced it. Those that we see in the courts, the lawyers. They grouped laws according to the ones in parliament, made in parliament. Some laws would be used from the judgments that had been made, be it by the elders or whatever. They became a law, and then we had customary laws, the way we do. Customary and religious laws, the ones that we use. These laws helped guide the state. People subjected to it were to abide by the law, and the punishment was given by the laws. In Kenya, it says when things have gone haywire, then there is a writing of the Kenyan law that all those laws now, if everything has gone haywire, the court can't work, everything can't work, those laws will be subjected to the Attorney General. Meaning that if there are chaos, if there is a situation that cannot be legitimately solved, then they can be referred to the office of the Attorney General. It is written there. So, in most cases, when the other courts can be able to master that, then you don't take it to the office of the Attorney General. It's done within those confines. And the Attorney General remains the advisor of government in matters legal. So, what happens is, the rule of law, sometimes we find people are crafty, and sometimes people follow it according to the way it's supposed to be done. So that one will guard in that some things that we complain of, subjected to people, abuse of human rights is eliminated. Your property right is upheld, and your legal status, as far as the law is concerned, is taken care of. There are some people who now use on the second one, pass judgment. I think that's where the jurisprudence comes, comparison of laws. But mostly you'll find when judgment is being passed, it's passed as per the laws of that particular country. Though people have sometimes used jurisprudence as a hack to other laws. So when people are dealing with laws, there are those who are good in that field. There are the common men like us. We should know that different institutions, I think many of us know, have laws. They are the main laws in the Constitution, but the laws, there are laws that guide different institutions. You go to the police force, you will find there are laws that guide the use of force, the use of firearms. You go to the Teacher Service Commission, there are teacher service laws and things like that. Many laws under the real law in the Constitution. And from there you come up to the ancient laws, some of the laws that we had even when we had independence that have not been revised. Sometimes people get into problems because those laws that were not revised still remain legal, and somebody can use them to suppress the rights as per the laws that are there. So whoever is using the law should realize, does it go in sync with the rights of the human being, with the rights of the citizen? But according to the Kenyan law, all humans, all people in the country are equal before the law. The only person who enjoys being above the law during the time of tenure in office is the president, because you cannot sue him when he's in office, you cannot arrest him when he's in office, and you can only follow him when he retires from office. So the only person we can say enjoys, is it saying is above the law for that time that is in office, is the president. Otherwise, any other person below that should be subjected to the law. So what does it teach us? That we are all equal under the law. We are all subject to the law of the land, and any legal dispute will be handled from the same level, and the judgments in the books stand equal for all of us, unless we are now a military court, because that is something that many Kenyans don't talk about. When there are chaos and a military court is uplifted, then that one works on martial laws. They are there amongst the soldiers. That's why you find many of the people in the armed forces will not mess outside, because they know once they do that, they will be arrested by the military police and they are subjected to the military laws. But when there is a state of emergency, all those laws are used across. That's what I wanted to talk about law. I know many know about it. A few of us, like me and the others, are ignorant. That's why I've gone for the books that have had problems here. But generally, that's what I'm saying about the law. We are all equal before the law, except the sitting president at that time. That's what I wanted to bring out to all of us to understand. That's my take for now.